There is a habit most men keep in the dark. They call it natural. They call it harmless. Some even call it healthy. Yet, it is quietly draining them of strength, of focus, of the will to push forward. You feel it after. That slow heaviness in the body, that fog in the mind, the quiet loss of drive. It gives you a rush. Fast, intense. Your brain floods with dopamine. But it's not real victory. It's not earned. And what comes after is always the same emptiness. Seneca once said, "No man is free who is a slave to his body." The Stoics knew, every time you give in to impulse, you give away a piece of yourself. Not just energy, but command over your own life. History's great men understood this. Warriors, inventors, leaders. They guarded their energy like treasure. They did not waste it on moments that led nowhere. This is not about guilt. It is not about shame. It is about freedom. It is about self-mastery. If you've ever wondered why your motivation fades, why your goals stay on paper, why you feel weaker than you know you could be, it may be because of this. And once you understand the truth behind it, you will never see this habit the same way again. The hidden cost of quick pleasure. Pleasure itself is not the enemy. The Stoics never said to reject joy. They warned us to question its source and its cost. Quick pleasure hides its price. It feels harmless. It feels like nothing changes. A few minutes. No one sees. No one knows. But something changes every single time. You train your mind. You condition your body. You teach yourself a rule without even knowing it. Reward should come instantly, without effort, without patience, without risk. At first, it seems small. You still work. You still meet your obligations. But slowly, something shifts. It becomes harder to start tasks that matter. You avoid challenges that feel uncomfortable. You lose interest in pursuits that require long effort. The mind begins to chase only what is easy, what is quick. Neuroscience calls it dopamine conditioning. Your brain gets used to intense reward with no work. And once that wiring sets in, ordinary life feels dull. The conversation with a friend, the quiet hours of learning a skill, the grind of building a business, all of it feels empty compared to the rush you can summon instantly. This is the hidden cost, not the minutes you spend, the life you no longer have the energy to pursue. Dopamine was designed to pull you toward meaningful goals, to make the hunt worth it, to reward the climb. When you flood it for free, you steal that drive from yourself. The Stoics understood this without brain scans or science. They saw men grow soft when they surrendered to impulse. They knew a man ruled by pleasure cannot be trusted to rule himself. Look honestly at your own life. How many goals remain untouched? How many mornings start with distraction? How many opportunities passed while you chose the quick escape instead? The true cost is not in the act itself. It's in the quiet erosion of who you could have been. Seneca would call this a slow slavery. Not with chains on your wrists, but with chains on your will. And the longer you carry them, the heavier they become. Stoic wisdom on desire. The Stoics did not see desire as evil. They saw it as a force that could build or destroy. Seneca wrote, "No man is free who is a slave to his body." These are not the words of a moralist. They are the warning of a strategist. If your appetites rule you, your freedom is only an illusion. Desire is like fire. Controlled, it warms the home. Uncontrolled, it burns it to the ground. The Stoics studied desire the way a soldier studies the battlefield. They knew its movements. They knew its ambushes. They knew it attacks when the guard is down. Marcus Aurelius commanded the greatest army of his age. Yet, in his private notes, he wrote more about self-command than commanding legions. He reminded himself that the mind is the fortress. Lose it, and the empire outside does not matter. Epictetus was born in chains. He owned nothing. He could not control the will of his master, but he could control his own will. He taught that the first freedom is to say no to an impulse, to refuse to be dragged by what feels good in the moment. This was not denial for its own sake. It was training. Every refusal was a repetition. Every act of restraint was strength added to the mind. History remembers men who mastered themselves, warriors who stood calm when fear screamed, inventors who stayed focused while others chased comfort, leaders who put principle above impulse. They understood a simple truth: your energy is limited. If you give it away to fleeting pleasures, you will have none left for the life you want to build. Modern life does not send armies to your gates. It sends temptations to your hand, your phone, your screen, your own mind offering you an easy escape every hour. The Stoic path is not to kill desire. It is to master it, to turn it toward something worthy. When desire serves you, it becomes fuel. When you serve desire, it becomes your master. So the question is not whether desire is good or bad. The question is, who commands who? Because if you do not rule yourself, something else will. 3 Stoic-inspired solutions. The Stoics never stopped at theory. Wisdom without action was worthless to them. Knowing is not enough. You must practice. If desire can weaken you, discipline can make you unshakable. Here are 3 ways to start. Simple, but not easy. 1. Self-discipline. The first rule is resistance. Not forever, not perfectly, just long enough to prove to yourself that you are in command. When the urge comes, don't run from it. Observe it. Feel the wave rise. Breathe through it. Let it pass without obeying. Every time you resist, you are building a muscle in the mind. It will be weak at first. It will tremble, but repetition turns it into steel. 2. Finding purpose. A man without a goal will serve his impulses. Fill your days with something that demands your energy. A project, a skill, a vision that excites you more than the short rush. When you are building something meaningful, there is less space for empty indulgence. Your mind is too occupied with creation. Your body too invested in the work. Ask yourself, if I did not waste this energy, where could I direct it? The answer is the path you should take. 3. Transmutation. Energy is never lost. It changes form. The Stoics knew this before science gave it a name. Take the same force that drives your desire and channel it toward creation, learning, or leadership. Nikola Tesla spoke of his celibacy as a source of focus, not repression. Transformation. The raw drive became mental clarity. The restlessness became invention. This is the art of turning impulse into achievement. It is not about rejecting life. It is about aiming your power where it counts. The truth is, you will not quit anything by accident. You replace it with something stronger, something that serves your future, not just your moment. The Stoics trained daily for this. You can too, because self-mastery is not a gift. It is a discipline, and the man who commands himself commands his life. Imagine waking up with a clear mind, no heaviness in the body, no fog in your thoughts, just steady energy, ready to be spent on something that matters. This is life without the constant drain. Your mornings feel different. Your eyes are sharper. Your posture straighter. You move with purpose instead of drifting through the day. You notice it in small ways first. You finish work faster. You speak with more confidence. You look people in the eye without the quiet shame you used to carry. Your focus deepens. Tasks that once felt impossible now feel like challenges you're willing to take. You stay in the discomfort longer. You push through instead of breaking away for the quick escape. Motivation stops being something you wait for. It becomes a constant current. Every day, you choose strength over impulse. That current grows stronger. You reclaim time. Hours once lost to emptiness are now invested in building skills, pursuing goals, or strengthening your body. Your evenings no longer end with the quiet frustration of knowing you gave in again. They end with a sense of progress. This is not just about energy. It is about self-respect. You trust yourself again. When you set a goal, you believe you can reach it because you've proven it in the smallest, most private battles. Others notice too. They may not know why, but they feel it. Your presence changes. You no longer seek approval. You no longer apologize for taking up space. You stand as someone who governs himself. The Stoics called this self-mastery. It is not loud. It does not need to announce itself. It is the quiet certainty that you are no longer owned by your desires. The world will still tempt you. Urges will still come. But now, they do not control you. You have built a fortress inside. And from within those walls, you decide how to spend your energy, where to aim your life. This is the life after quitting. Not empty, not deprived, but fuller, stronger, and completely yours. The choice is always yours. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Now, you can keep living as you are, drained, distracted, pulled by impulses you do not control, or you can decide that this ends here. No one will do it for you. No one will carry you over the line. No one will give you permission to take back your strength. This is not about a single habit. It is about the way you live, about the way you face every temptation, every weakness, every soft place in your mind. The Stoics trained for this, not because they feared pleasure, but because they feared becoming its servant. Self-mastery is not given. It is forged, day after day, choice after choice. It is in the moment you say no when your body says yes. It is in the breath you take before you act. It is in the hours you give to what matters instead of what fades. You have seen what happens when you give in. You know the cost. You have felt the weight of it. So here is the question. Will you remain in chains you cannot see? Or will you rise and break them? The world does not care. It will keep offering you the easy road. It will keep selling you comfort in exchange for your will. But you are not here to serve the world. You are here to serve your highest self. The man who masters his desires, masters his time, masters his energy, masters his life. One day, you will look back on this moment. You will remember it as the point where you decided to stop being ruled, where you built the discipline to choose strength over impulse, where you began to walk as a free man. And when that day comes, you will know what the Stoics knew. In a world of noise and temptation, true power is quiet, and the quiet mind rules everything.